What's up guys, this time I'm going to show you guys how to install a paper Minecraft server on your computer so that you can play with your friends or test out plugins if you're making plugins. Paper, if you don't know, is just a development framework that you can use to develop plugins for Minecraft servers, and it's also a very popular server type that's very efficient and is really easy to set up. Another one that you may have heard of is Spigot. Paper is built on top of Spigot, so they're very similar. So it's basically the modern way to run a Minecraft server. So we're going to see how to do that now. So the first step is to make sure that you have the latest version of the Java JDK installed, the Java Development Kit. So to do that, go to your terminal, open up a terminal on Windows, and then what you want to do is do java-version. Now, you may see something that says unrecognized command, or you may see a lower version, but you need at least Java version 21 at the time of recording. All of the modern versions of Minecraft require that version number. So if you don't have at least Java 21, let me show you how to install it. First things first, go to the interwebs and search up the Java JDK, go to Java Downloads. It'll take you here, and so the latest time of the Java JDK at this current time is Java 24. You only need Java 21 like I said, but you can still install Java 24, it doesn't matter. This tutorial is specifically for Windows, so click Windows, and then we want to click the MSI installer, or you can do this one as well. After that, just run the installer, same as you would with any program. So click next. Here's the installation location. It's pretty much just good to leave it on default. Just keep note of where this is. It's in your C drive, the program files, Java JDK 24. So keep note of that. Click next. Now it's just going to install it. So give it a second. All right, so it says it was successfully installed, but that's not all we have to do to make sure that's good. So what you want to do first of all is close your terminal and reopen it, because anytime you install a program like this, it's not going to be refreshed. So run java-version again. And for me, it says I have Java version 24, but for you, it still may say unrecognized or the older version. That is because sometimes it does not update your environmental variables on your computer. It's really annoying, but I'll show you how to fix it. So first of all, just search up environment, and you'll see edit the system environment variables. Click that. It'll take you to this window here. Click environment variables. Okay, so now here under system variables, just search for one called Java_home. If it doesn't exist, then what you want to do is click new. If not, then just edit it. And you want to type Java in all caps _home in all caps. Now for the variable value, you want to find the installation directory of Java that you just installed. So browse directory. And then now we know it's installed on our C drive. That's the default location. So C drive. Then we want to go to program files, then go to Java. And here we go. I have all these different installations of Java. We want to select the newest one, the JDK 24 installation. So just click it and then click OK. And so now you're setting this Java home environmental variable to the latest version of Java. Click OK. Now we have to do one more change to this. So you want to find the path environmental variable. So path right here. So what you want to do is click new, and then you want to add this here. So %, Java_home, %, I think that's a /, and then bin. So you're just telling it to go to that bin directory and click OK. It's really weird. I know it's annoying, but that's what you have to do. Click OK. And hopefully that should be it. So close your terminal again and now reopen it. And now yet again, we're going to run java-version. And there we go. We get Java version 24. If you still have issues with getting it to show the proper version, even if you did the steps I just showed you with the environmental variable, there's a chance that if you go to the path one again, there's a chance that some of these already maybe pre-installed Oracle ones could be conflicting with this. So you can remove those, and this will basically tell it to point to the new one, okay? But you should not hopefully have that issue, all right? Anyway, so now that you have at least Java Development Kit version 21 or above, you can now finally install the Minecraft server. To do that, go to papermc.io. I'll have a link in the description below, of course. Then click Downloads. Then we want Paper. And then here we go, we get Paper 1.21.4. So I believe at the time of recording, the latest version of Minecraft is 1.21.5, but they don't have a server for that yet. So it's just 1.21.4. So anyone who plays on the server will usually need that version, okay? So click Paper. That's going to give you this jar file here. This is basically a Java runnable file. Just go ahead and copy this file. And what we want to do is find a safe place on our computer to put it. This is where our server is going to live. So I'm going to go here. You can put it wherever you want. I'm going to go here specifically to my E drive. And I'm going to make a new folder just called Minecraft server, like that. And I'm going to Control V. I'm going to paste that jar file that we just downloaded into that file. What you want to do now is just rename it, give it an easier name to work with. So instead of paper.1, all these version numbers, we can do just, paper or just server.jar. That's easier as well. Now in the past, what you would have to do is manually create a script here so that you can run the server jar file to start up the server. But actually, Paper has this really cool little website here that you can use to make the script automatically. It's very, very useful. So I'll leave a link for this in the description below. So what you want to do first is choose how much memory or RAM your server is allowed to run based on. So if your computer has maybe 8 gigabytes of RAM, that's not a whole lot. It's a good amount, but it's not a whole lot. So maybe you want to set it to like, I don't know, 2. Set it to a lower number, and then if your server lags, then you want to make it, bigger. But don't set it to 8 if your computer only has 8 gigabytes of RAM. That's gonna destroy your computer, right? That's not gonna work. So basically, the idea is you want to allocate enough memory for your server to run smoothly, but not enough to take up memory from other programs on your computer. Okay, so a good number I would say is 4 or maybe just 2. I'm gonna set it to 2. That's pretty good for a basic server. But the more plugins you add, the more memory you will need. Anyway, so once you have that set, you want to set the file name, which we renamed it just now to server.jar. So set it to whatever you named it to. Now I'm on Windows, so I'll select Windows, and then we don't care about any of these flags here. If you want to, you can select these other extra options, but we don't care about that either. So once you're done here, click download, and it's going to download a start.bat file. It's literally just called start.bat, and that's just a script that you can run on your computer. So go back to your server here and just simply move that into your server folder, and that's it. So now we have a script that we can use to run our server. So to do it, just simply double click it. And you're going to see this probably, a little warning here, but this is just Microsoft Defender trying to protect you from viruses. We can click run anyway instead. And now you can see a terminal pops up and it's downloading the Minecraft server and it's setting everything up for the first time. Now you're going to see this message here on the very first time you start the server. You need to agree to the EULA in order to run the server. So it's really stupid, but it's easy. So you can see that all these files and folders here were generated for your server. One of them is the EULA.txt. Simply double click it to open it in Notepad. And all you got to do is go here to this line where it says false and set it to true. This is you just agreeing to their terms and agreements and whatnot. So close that after you save it. And now you can double click the start file, the script again, and it will start up your server for the first time. And it will actually work this time, which is great. So click allow if it asks you to as well. There we go. So this is a good startup. You can see that it prepared the spawn area, it loaded the world. So your server is good to go. So now to join it, boot up Minecraft, and I'll see you in 1 second. Again, just make sure that you're on the same version of Minecraft that the server is running. So 1.21.4 for me. But if you're watching this at a later time in history, then you're probably going to have a higher number, of course. All right, so once you're in Minecraft, go to direct connection, and you can join using local host, or you can add a new server. I'll call it local server. And the IP address, again, is just localhost. You don't have to type a bunch of numbers and stuff like that because it's already on your computer. So click done. And there we go. We can see our server is recognized, so we can join it. And here we are. We're in our Minecraft world. Awesome. One thing you'll notice is that you don't have any command capabilities because you're not opt on the server, meaning you have no permissions. So to quickly do that, you can come back here. This is your server's, console terminal essentially. You don't want to close this unless you want the server to stop. What's also cool about this is that you can run commands in here in this console and you'll have all the permissions you need. You don't have to worry about not having permission because it is the server console. So if I want to, I can opt my account. So op Illuminati 123 123. So oping means that you're giving yourself server operator. So now I can run any command I want, like game mode creative, and now I'm in creative mode. And so now if you want to stop the server, the proper way to do it is to run stop. That will make sure that it shuts down properly. Or if you just want to kill it as soon as possible, you can do Control C, and that will basically kill it forcefully. It should still save everything, but sometimes it's better to just run stop first. It's up to you. And that's it. So that's how you can set up a Minecraft paper server. Hopefully this tutorial was not too hard to follow. So now the next steps are you can play by yourself on the server, or you can install some plugins or develop some plugins on the server. You can watch my series on that. Or if you want to make it a public server so that your friends can join, you need to follow some steps, and I have a tutorial for that as well. So make sure to check it out if you want to do that. But that's all I got, guys. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, and peace.